Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all well rested, ready to start a brand new day. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is KuanYin, and my purpose in these videos is to help you come up with your own daily practice of some sort every morning. So discussions are centered around that, and I usually pull a card. There will be a slight format change. I'll get to that at the end of this video. Right now, I want ways, remedies for an anxious mind. I actually have a list of 9 of them. That's too long for one video, so it's going to be a part 1 and a part 2 today and tomorrow. All right, so let's get into it without any further ado. Number 1. You know, I say this all the time on my channel. Number 1, you should know this one by now. If you've watched my former videos, I always tell you to slow down and take some breaths. Deep breaths, count your breaths. When you find yourself in times of stress, just stopping and taking one good, solid, deep breath in and out can do wonders for your mood. Just like this. Now, there are formats that you can apply to the breaths that can help, that are like scientifically proven, yogic ways and mental health ways. One is called a Foursquare Breath. It's a good calming energy, and it helps keep you in the present moment. It's where every in and every hold and then out and then hold are all 4 seconds long. So you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 4, in, hold, out, hold, and you keep doing that for as long as you need to. That is good for general stress relief. It's good for calming the central nervous system and all that. And another version of that that's good for helping you fall asleep is to inhale for 4, hold for 3, exhale for 6. Inhale 4, hold 3. That one takes a little practice. It's a little hard to do, but what it does, the inhale being shorter than the exhale, calms the nervous system down and puts you right to sleep. Okay. Number 2, connect to the 5 senses. I've also mentioned this in previous videos too. You have a time of stress, and you can do this right in a meeting. You're having a stressful meeting with your boss or whatever, and you're either in depression mode or anxiety mode, meaning you're living in the past, ruminating on the past in depression, or you're anxious about the future. You're anxious, therefore you're concerned about something that isn't even happening yet. So to help bring you back to that center, that present moment awareness, you can connect to the senses. Don't mind my fingernails, they're really dirty. I was in the garden in the dirt all day yesterday. So connecting with the senses, you can do that as simply as looking around and seeing, what 5 colors do I see? I see a red football. I see a green sign. I see green trees. I see a blue recycle bin. I see the tan house. I see the brown bark. You just name off all the colors you can see and aim for at least 5. Another way to do that is to do what's called the 5 by 5 practice. This is if you have a little bit more time. And so you name 5 different things you see, and it can be different colors, different textures. Okay, there's the rusty metal star on my house. There's the shiny glass. You get the point. And then I hear a bird going, hee, 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 hee. I hear a bird going, dee, 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 dee. I hear an owl going, woo, woo. And right when I want a car to go by, there's no cars going by, but number 4 could be a car going by. Number 5 could be someone walking around in my house. So you name 5 things that you're hearing that are distinct all around you. And sense, okay. Smelling crisp, clean air. Maybe a little bit of pine from the trees. I'm smelling the smell of the fire pit last night. That's such a blessing. I'll tell you that at the end of the video. And so I can name 3 off the top of my head. And then taste. I taste my coffee. Open my, and there's a different sense of taste with the fresh air hitting my tongue. So anyway, you get the point. If you've got the time, you can go on a 5x5 practice, naming 5 things from each of the 5 senses. I feel my palms together. I feel the smooth glass of my mug. I feel the rough wood here, the rough texture chair I'm sitting on, and so forth. Number 4. Now this one's a biggie. This is a big biggie. This one is the biggest biggie that you can do. Release your inner critic. We all have that voice chitter-chattering in our head, telling us everything that could go wrong or everything that did go wrong or how messed up we are. And to our inner critic, we're all messed up. The inner critic is an abusive, narcissistic parent type voice in our head, going on and on and on about all the bad things and how we should be punished. We shouldn't enjoy life because we're so messed up. Okay? All right. If a friend came to you for advice and a friend was, yeah, I'm worried about the blah, 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 what would you do? What would you say to them? Would you become a critic? Oh, you're right. You can't do that. You never could do that in the past. And I'll name all the ways that you couldn't do that in the past. And, you know, there's other ways that you've been a big mess up all your life. And I'll name those for you too, just to protect you from not going ahead and doing that thing that you're worried about in the future. Okay. Or a friend comes to you excited about something they want to do in the future. Oh, you're excited about that. Well, okay. Well, let me name all these ways that you failed in the past and why you can't do it now and blah, blah. You wouldn't do that to your best friend. At least I hope not. Good, then I hope you're not on my channel. No offense, but this channel might not be for you if you would do that to a friend. And so you would reassure the friend if they're going through an anxiety or if they're excited about something, that a project they want to do, you'd probably be excited for them and, you know, encourage them. Rah, rah, rah. Well, the inner critic is part of ego, and it's part of ego trying to protect you, misguidedly trying to protect you. You know, if you are the type of friend that would tell the friend how they've messed up in the past and wouldn't be able to do this in the future, then maybe you do have a kind heart in there, a little bit messed up, that just wants to protect them, wants to save them from making the same mistakes. I mean, sure, if they're about to do something like invest all their money in whatever silly idea that they come up with, it might be a good idea to try to talk them out of it. But if they've got a fairly good idea that has a chance of working, don't do that. But so the inner critic is part of ego voice that tries to protect. And ego voice tries to protect itself above all else. And ego voice is not you. You are a divine spiritual being that can never die. The spirit never dies. And ego worries about ego death and protects itself from ego death. And ego death truly believes that it is protecting you. Ego death believes it is you. Okay, so release the inner critic, and it's easier said than done, but with practice, just catching yourself in the moment, catching yourself in a thought of, I'm not good enough, catching yourself saying all the things in your head. If you become the observer briefly enough to notice that you're saying all those things, then you can stop and pause. Go back to number 1. Take a nice deep breath. Say thank you for telling me this, but I choose not to believe it, and become your own loving parent. Okay? Release the inner critic parent and go to the loving parent and become your own loving parent. What would you say to a child that you truly love, that you're trying to give advice to, or your best friend? Become your own best friend and speak to yourself from that point of view. So those are the 4 ways. It's my remedy for your anxious mind. And tomorrow I'll get into 4 more for you. And let's all take a nice deep breath before I get into these KuanYin cards. If you want to join me, I would like to take a deep breath in. And I'm going to hold it. And then I'm going to release it with a whew. And experimenting with your breaths. If you have the opportunity to release with a sound or release with pursed lips or something like that, try different things that help to soothe us. So it's kind of fun to play with the breath in different scenarios and find out what works for you. And the Emerald Fountain Goddess wants to be with us again today. Drink from the Emerald Fountain. With a lotus at her feet, holding some sort of a bowl or a chalice. She looks very nourishing. She looks very protecting. The Divine Feminine encourages your awakening and empowerment. Your sincerity is invoking KuanYin's divine intervention. It makes sense to open up and receive it, to step forward and drink from the Emerald Fountain, which is unconditionally loving heart chakra of KuanYin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother, flowing to you now. It's a beautiful card. All right, with all that, now I want to go into a little bit of a format change that I want to implement today and tomorrow. I'll be doing these remedies for an anxious mind, but starting Monday, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I think it might be a good idea to shorten up these daily lives to maybe 5 minutes if I can, but no more than 10 minutes. And what I will be doing is coming on this channel, reading a card to give a daily energy for the day. A daily KuanYin energy for the day. And then that will be my daily live video. A nice short little thing for you guys to watch. But I'm also going to start doing an upload 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Monday, I think, will be the vibe cards, like a 3-card, maybe a 5-card reading for energies for the upcoming week. And I love the Trust Your Vibes. I don't want to get rid of them completely. So that's what I figured I would do, is Monday do a weekly vibe check. And Wednesdays will be my choice. And Fridays will be a fun Friday. It'll be a fun little video that might be a sign language video or me talking about a fun subject anyway. And I figured that would be something that's a little bit more structured for you guys to be able to follow. You wouldn't have to see a long 20-minute video every Monday, every day of the week at 9. I figured that was a little too much. So with all that, tell me down below what you think of these format changes, and yeah, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of when I do a new video and what that will be on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, so all that being said, please like this video if you like it, and give me a comment down below. It actually helps me out to have comments in my feed. I'm going to be blunt with that, and I will answer all comments unless it's spammy. And actually, for the first 5 people that comment on my videos with a genuine comment, if you would like a reading, just a little short 1-card reading from either KuanYin or Vibe Deck, let me know, and I will give you a short little card reading just for you. All right, and with all that being said, thank you so much for joining this video. I hope that you all have an amazing day, and take care. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Namaste.